Hello again, guys. We're back and we're jumping straight back into how we feel and our thoughts on the channeling. So, Caroline,
Yeah.
how do you feel?
So, hi everyone. So Leo, I feel great. I'm here. Again, the heart has been very it is very activated, and so I realized that I placed my hands. Oh, maybe you cannot see exactly, but I placed my hands either like this or either like this with my two thumbs on here. And this outfit was in fact too much on myself, and so they said to put it a kind of away to be more closer to my skin and to my, yeah, to this area, to the heart area. So I was doing either this or this, probably to stabilize and also to help me maybe being more focused on the message and to be able to transmit and to ground myself more, I guess. Like last time, I also took notes, so that's great to be able to take few notes, especially because Ashtar don't want to forget anything, and so they want to be very, very focused on the message. So I think that what they said about joy, I don't remember everything, but yeah, they spoke about the mind training and that this is a decision and. I think they're right. I think that when we can, we have to change perception, and most of the time, sometimes we are stuck in our perception and perspectives. And what we sometimes only need to do is just to shift perspectives, but that's not always easy to do. And sometimes to speak about a problem with a friend is just very helping because the friend will help you see the problem with different eyes and different angles. So I really liked what they said about the mind training, and this is really a kind of habit that we must practice, to be and to see joy everywhere or in action in our day to day, to focus on joy and also on love. And so I thought that was actually a great message, as always. And yeah, I totally agree with the fact that we should also be kind with ourselves and stop criticizing and judging. Either we decide to judge mostly others, but sometimes we are also very harsh on ourselves. So that was also very great to hear also.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also what stood out for me was the the emphasis on it's a process, and so to to really practice not judging ourselves really and to not and to become comfortable with the process, understanding it's an ongoing thing and it does get better, it does get easier, it does get smoother. However, as you say, in the beginning, it can be kind of pretty hard. It can be a bit hard to shift um, in that very moment. However, it is possible, and I think we're all on this, this journey, this process together. And I think, tying it back to the first video where they speak about community and what you said, as well about, speaking with another friend or a family member to really help us to process this together. And I think that's really, really critical. And so, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm. And how do you feel after this channeling?
I feel really good. I'm at peace. My energy levels for the past few days uh have been sort of, some may notice how my energies may seem a bit lower than the very first video. I feel yeah, just the energies being so activated right now. I was in a pretty high state, especially I was very excited. It was our very first video, and so we were like riding the waves of that excitement. And I still feel good now, and I feel great now, but it's a more peaceful experience. And that kind of just reminded me that love and light is not all just about joy, joy, joy. Although this is a big sort of part of it, and you could say, and I've been told um, that that is sort of, you know, the joy frequency, you could say, is where we ascend to, you could say, and that as we cultivate more, as we ascend more in that way, we're just naturally in the joy state. And it's because it's integrated and embodied more and stabilized. It's uh it's a peaceful joy in that it's not a woohoo, but it's a grounded, rooted joy. And I think we're all sort of on this process of experiencing that.
And I think you experienced that, the different layers of joy, you know, of being, yeah, in a kind of joyful peak and now in a more peaceful joy. And that's the same when we go into to concerts. And sometimes when we go to fantastic concerts, we're there, yeah, yeah, etc. And we feel this excitement and this joy and this state. And sometimes for days we may be quite high because of the joy and because of this experience that we've just lived. And but I think as you're just experiencing it, there are different probably layers of joy, and we can be joyful in a peaceful way. And yeah, I think that we more and more will experience these different layers of joys. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And when you say layers, reminds me of flavors, that there's different flavors of love. Um, and yeah, I agree.
I'm watching my notes if I took other notes. No, I also enjoyed what they said about the consumption, because when they speak about the consumption, most of the time we can just think about the food intake. And in fact, when they speak about consumption, most of the time it's also related to thoughts and also to what we see, what we listen to, and they told us, they recommended us to, or maybe especially me, to be more aware of what I was watching and listening to, etc. So this is something important because in this video, so they recommended that everyone pays more attention to its consumption, to its daily consumption. And in some cases, they can also recommend to do a kind of digital detox or digital fasting for from consuming those social media things or the TV or even the music that we may listen. And Ashtar is right about the not only the quality but also the quantity, because we can see many things that are uplifting, but sometimes we see too much. We're
Mm.
just watching too much things on social media, and we can spend so much time, not only spend, waste so much time on scrolling and watching. And even though it is joyful, or it may be joyful, I think that in some ways it is also pulling us down in some ways. Um, I don't exactly get the process, but I think this is related to vibrations. Um, but I think that it was interesting as well that they mentioned this consumption idea.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me, we actually, I think we spoke about this idea of energy in, energy out.
Yeah.
And I think they were referencing that in how it's also about the quality and quantity of the energy in and the quality and quantity of the energy expressed out. And I think so you can say it's about capacity as well. You know, if we can consume too much good things as well. I mean, in this reality, too much love is too much. Our body just can't really handle it. Um, and I think it goes both ways. And so I think there is this sort of ebb and flow rhythm. You can say a balance, but also it's a rhythm, I feel, because Yeah, yes, I feel like it's a rhythm, and for me personally, I've been finding that when I consume, um, so I've been experimenting, as you know, Caroline, with you could say the heavier consumptions, whether it's something you eat or drink or these sorts of things, or watch or listen to, and I realized that yes, there is a sort of a pulling down in a way because I think it's we're overly focusing on those things. And so I think it is about sort of spreading out and balancing and and also experiencing and consuming other things, you could say higher things as well, but to really spread the things, spread our consumption out instead of just consuming one type of thing or one type of thought or in that sort of way. And that's been helping me as well.
And
Variety,
they also,
variety is the word. That's
and I think, and they also referred that if we are watching too much things or consuming too much different kinds of things, it's also prevents us to go back more within. And so if we do not, or if we watch less television or if we are less on social media, then we can focus more on ourselves and, as they say, to go back within. And I think there is also a balance between the, and I think that most of us probably we just spend our time, working, being here and there, going shopping, doing this and that and this and that and this and that, and so we spend energies doing things or watching things or etc etc, and we don't take the time, and sometimes we don't have many time, but much time, and but we don't go into ourselves, we don't focus on ourselves, we most of us probably don't take the time to meditate or and just to be with ourselves and just to be centered. And I think this is also their what they want to say. And it's also referring to what you say, Leo, about the energy in and energy out. And there is a need to of balance and having this kind of focus of the energy that the energy in but within ourselves and being focused on ourselves.
oh yeah, I really think that's true, and I think I think he I think you could say it's a lot of us are overstimulated, even with the good stuff, and so it is as if we're sort of um, an analogy that's coming to mind is it's as if our body is a hose, and even if we consume too much love, even because too many high vibe songs or channeling videos, it's as if we're trying to pass through or move through too much energy for our body or our hose to handle. So it could lead to maybe tears and little leakages and all these sorts of things. So I think you're absolutely right. The coming back within to sort of recharge and to repair and to replenish. I think that's a part of the ebb and flow rhythm.
You're completely right about the fact of feeling um, yeah, you're completely right about what you've just said. I forget the word, but you were right, and you're right. I won't find it back, but anyway, it's not a big deal. You were perfect, and you are so right.
Thank you, Perfect Caroline.
Thank you. So I don't have anything to add.
Well then, I don't have anything to add either. Should we wrap it up here? I feel like
Yeah, I
we
think
covered a
so.
lot of
Sure.
yeah points. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us again. We really enjoy this format. We of course we feel that this will evolve and it'll get better in that way as well. But we really this is helping us a lot to integrate the channeling messages and so yeah, we hope everyone enjoys and also what this was helpful. And if you have any questions or if you have any topics or themes that you wish to hear about, any messages, um, then let us know, and we'll record videos on those as well.
And yes, I agree with Leo. So about everything, and so thank you for watching these videos. We do hope that it will help you, and that our thoughts are also helpful to understand these messages. Because sometimes they may use some terms, and that even though they want to be as clear as possible, sometimes there may be a misunderstanding. And so we also hope that our conversation, our chit chat, is helping you also to, yeah, to have a kind of debrief, or to, yeah, to integrate these messages as well.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
we greet you again in the love and the light, and we will talk to you soon for during another challenge.
Adonai.
Adonai.